Good morning, guys. It has been a while. Today is Wednesday. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm just getting started. I have 2 catering orders, both from Delivered, which, makes me extremely happy. One is at 10:30-ish, 10:30, 10:40, something like that. And then the next one, that one was $47, $48. And then the next one is at 12:15 for $54. And they're all going fairly close, so that makes me happy too. I have been out of commission for a while because my truck keeps going into the shop, and the worst thing about, well, other than the money that you have to pay, is when nobody can figure out what's wrong. So that's why it keeps going back in. It keeps not starting, but they've looked at everything. I have a whole bunch of new stuff because it was in the shop twice already, but they're keep looking at the alternator or the fuel pump. I don't know, something like that, but nothing. They can't find anything wrong. So they put in a new battery last week when I got into the truck Monday morning, which made me very angry because I opened the doors and no lights came on, completely dead. I had to cancel. I was able to do my morning catering because my husband was around and could take me, but then my afternoon one, which was the big one, I had to cancel, which I wasn't happy about. But they were on Zifty, so it was easier to cancel than it would have been on Delivered, because even though Delivered says they don't hold it against you when you release an order, I still think that it gets held against you. But anybody doing more Zifties, I feel like Zifty, who's going to order a smoothie from 20 miles away? I just don't get it. I feel like Zifty has been the new favorite app for Cater, and they're getting a ton of orders, and I feel like Delivered, I mean, I don't know because I'm unfortunately not Emerald, so I know they get them first, but I feel like Zifty, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't really have much because, sorry guys, I'm just trying to get a start and nothing's coming over that's good enough. Zifty is just like booming. I had, at one point, I think I had 7 or 8 Zifties on my schedule. Like, that's just insane to me. And that was, they only released them a few days ahead of time, so I was still adding more, but I did have one Zifty today that I canceled, and ironically my husband was able to get because it's literally right here, but I took the 2 Delivereds because they worked out better and in the long run paid me more. So I can't understand Cater. Then yesterday, very oddly, quick story, I had a Uncle Julio's order, and it was for a 10:26 pickup, which means on Zifty I can pick it up at 10:21. Delivered sent me something for 11:30. My drop off for Zifty was at 11, but with them you can drop off 15 minutes earlier. So I had enough time. I had plenty of time. I get there, no, the door's locked and no one's answering the phone, and I couldn't get in, so I had to call Zifty. They said they had to call Cater, so that was at 10:22 because I called them 3 times. And at like 10:30, they texted me and said they're opening the doors now. So great. So I went in. This man was so angry because Cater called them. So the way he flipped open the door was very aggressively, but it opened like immediately. So I said, was the door open the whole time? He's like, no, because we don't open until 11 o'clock. I'm like, well, that's nice, but I have an 11:26 pickup. Well, that's not going to be ready because we're still trying to recover from last night from Cinco de Mayo. That was last night. The people who closed did all of that and fixed all of that. So why are you still recovering from that? But whatever. He's like, so your order is not going to be ready for at least 20 minutes because the chef hasn't even started it. Okay. He's like, you can go wait out in your car and I'll come and get you. I said, okay. So I called Zifty back, and I got the nicest man who, when I told him, I'm like, the guy was angry. He's like, exactly what did he say? So he's notating all of this. And I said, he said that it was going to be about 20 minutes. He's like, in restaurant time, that's 30 minutes. I'm like, you're right. And so I told him, I'm like, I understand it's not your responsibility, but I do have another catering order to pick up at 11:30. So he called Cater. I ended up getting paid for it and got to leave. So when I was talking to him and pulling away, I'm like, I feel really bad. Or I'm like, I feel really bad for you guys if the next person gets the attitude that I got. And he's like, that's not our order anymore. Okay, I said, did I get you guys in trouble? He's like, no, we didn't want to deal with him, so it's not our order anymore. I'm like, okay. So somebody waking up in a bad mood, all you had to do was either A, answer your phone. If I understand that you're a business and you're not going to answer your phone, but you know you have a catering order, and if somebody's calling 3 times in a row, you should understand, or look at your door. You're not new to this. You know that either we need to get let in, or like, why are we, calling you? So, and then to tell me that I had to wait another 20 minutes. If they would have made me wait, I would never have made my second catering. So it was good that I got paid, but either way, I guess I would have gotten paid, but I drove out there to sit in a parking lot for a half hour and then got paid. It was $45, I think. It was actually a good order. It was $45 for like $220 worth of food, going a mile and a half, a little under 2 miles, I think. But I don't understand why restaurants have to be so rude to us. We're doing a job just like you're doing a job. If I was their delivery person, would they have been that rude? And if the answer is yes, that's pretty sad. They don't need to be doing what they're doing. But anyways, so I don't know if an app can say that they don't want an order anymore after they, had an issue with their driver. I don't understand, but it is what it is. But I am becoming very keen on Zifty because that's how I'm getting the majority of my orders. And I say that as I got a $110 order off of Delivered on Saturday. I had one for like $30 for, I think, in the afternoon or something. And my husband and I, we were awake. We were just kind of laying in bed chit-chatting. And at 6 a.m., my phone went off and he's like, oh, they're canceling your order. Well, they sent me a $110 order for $6:30. So we had to like rush out of bed and go get it because I had him come with me because it was $1,200 worth of food, which is not a big deal, but I wasn't really awake yet. So I figured I would take him with me, which he was very helpful. I could have done it, but I was glad that he was there. So I complain that I don't get enough, but when you look at my earnings and stuff, I get plenty for being a non-emerald. I just wish someone would move or something would happen to where I could become emerald, because there goes my phone. That's all that I want, but I can't get it. But anyways, I've chatted longer than I thought that I would, because now I'm going to start heading towards the mall and seeing if I can get anything. Today is, I guess, not today, this week is, I don't know, some kind of assistant or something staff day for the schools. And then I heard it's Nurses Day or Nurses Week or something for the hospitals. And I've gotten a ton of seen a ton of hospital delivery. So that's got to be the case. So I'm hoping if I go down by the mall, maybe I can get some kind of donut or Panera or bagel or something order delivered for breakfast. So I hope you guys are having a great week, and I hope that you're very profitable, and we'll chat later.